Hi, this is Diana here, and I wanted to talk about the shift in 2012. Well, it did happen, but not the way that it was meant to be. In 2012, on the winter solstice, a phenomenal shift occurred across the entire globe. We were transported to another Earth, yes, hijacked, kidnapped, and our memories altered. We all awoke after that to think that, like in Groundhog Day, all was normal, as it should be. Well, all except the leading man. Well, some of us are like this lead character in the movie. We realize that something has changed. We recognize that there are many anomalies now to what once was. Buildings in places there weren't before, new ones where old ones were, people who were once dead now alive, and vice versa. Land masses, some of them seemingly odd and out of place. Some famous people alive now who were never born in our other reality. The change to our memories by this switch has been so profound that the majority of people have not realized that it actually had occurred. And when you try to explain it to them, they adamantly and sometimes vehemently disagree. To them, it was always this way. I noticed that some people call themselves New Earthers, but how I understand it, and the clues that I've seen, is that we were all hijacked from somewhere else, a much kinder, more keen reality, and that was, should I say, yes, we were kidnapped in 2012. Or it's just so sometimes so confusing to talk about traveling in time or different realities. It can get a bit confusing, but bear with me. Um, but in what had happened is that when we were kidnapped, the place that we were kidnapped from, the people, they kind of gave us a trigger to remember what had happened to us. I hope you're with me so far. And that trigger was 2012. Now, it was almost like our own little program to, at a particular time, when certain things were favorable, that we would be able to wake up en masse collectively, recognizing that something was wrong. Now, and in 2012, the trigger was to make us remember, to release us from like this deep hypnotic sleep. And so something did happen, um, but not in the kind of automatic way that that we thought it would be, suddenly have powers or something like that. But the way it did happen is that we started to be aware that things were not quite what we remembered at another time, such as landmass changes, people's name changes, brand name changes to products, and so on. And but I think this was also given a boost by the term known as the Mandela effect or the quantum effect. Now, I believe that we also left ourselves clues in films like Back to the Future and other films dealing with time travel and reality shifts and so on. Not to sound confusing, but I feel that when we were kidnapped and our memories altered to forget who we once were and where we once came from, and something was done to our DNA to prevent us from accessing normal to us in our other reality, things like our telepathic abilities or natural abilities to manipulate matter for our own uses and so on. Now, it's my opinion that all these things that we do in films are our deep subconscious awareness that we could at one time do them in real life. I also do believe that the place where we came from, where we were taken from, was obviously a much higher state of awareness, and other reality, in this other reality, this reality that we've been brought to, this is a low vibration, and now we are all contaminated to some degree or other with this lower vibration, and and this and this low vibration state, this reality of killing, raping, murdering, stealing, warring, is very much the norm to this reality. Now, we have been infected with the desire to commit these low level atrocities, which are not normal to those of us from the other reality. And the longer we stay here and think that this is our true reality, the harder it will be for us to remember that this state of being is not normal to us. Now, the shift in 2012 was so important to us as a collective that, as I said, it did happen. It had to happen because it was so very powerful in too many minds. Unfortunately, we didn't all start to achieve instant mental and physical abilities outside our normal, dumbed down version of life, but something did occur much more subtle, which is now growing in awareness, allowing many, sadly, not all, but many, that something is different. A little clue here, a little awareness there. And thankfully, through the magic of social media, we realize that no, we're not mad. Other people are realizing the same things. Perhaps some might insult us, oh, that's such a little thing, it's just your memory is faulty. But thousands remember the same little clues the same way. But then also bigger things are noticed now, such as land situated where it once was not, and so on. The majority of people who were kidnapped from our other reality entered this reality dominated by warmongering overlords, for want of a better word, in order for us to increase their power in every possible way. We have we had something that they did not have, an ability to create through the high vibrational power of love. The love vibration in its highest form causes matter to form, which can then be used to create life forms such as flowers and plants, rivers, and so on. And we, from our other reality, could all do this to some degree or other. Now, this reality here was more technologically based and had to do things the hard way through technology. And that's why you see an increase of technology now. Um, when they really, this, if we're not careful, would take away our humanity from us. Now, when they found out, the people who kidnapped us, that they could not replicate themselves what we did automatically, like we did, in our other reality, the way we manipulated matter, they became fearful of us, because they thought, obviously, we would use that ability against them. So the scientists altered our DNA and our minds, wiping our memories of who we once were in case we use our powers against them to escape, causing us, in effect, to become happy slaves for them, working 9 to 5, sometimes holding down 2 to 3 jobs just to survive. And then we die from exhaustion brought on by overwork, or we die from diseases brought on by bad eating habits introduced by them. Now, in our reality, in our previous reality, we lived for as long as we wanted to. Oh, yes. Now, in this reality, if you live for a mere 100 years, you're thought to have achieved something so very special. Now, the shift that has occurred is nudging us to remember who we once truly were: magnificent beings with full capacity to love and to care for each other and all creatures on the planet. The shift is nudging us in the direction to remember that love has the power to perform what we call, quote, miracles. Now, the rulers of this reality, this dimension that took us away from our true home, do not want us to reconnect through love, as they know that that is where our true power lay, even with the sabotage they did to our DNA. So, what do? They get you to work in jobs with measly pay while we make huge profits for them. Now, this measly pay serves to keep us in servitude to them, scared that if we resist, we would get the sack, and then how can we pay the crippling bills they enforce on us? They deliberately create wars for us to further hate each other, kill and maim each other, while they sit safely in their mansions and palaces, laughing at what they've got us to do for them. They sit back and laugh at us, eagerly trained to kill our fellow men or fellow human being. They create soldiers and then program the people to be proud soldiers fighting for a, quote, just cause, just war. And then they create programs for other people to be proud of these proud soldiers who kill for a just war. They label people so that other people hate and fear them, and so on. Now, why do you think this label of illegal immigrants have become so rampant across the globe, just about everywhere? One group accuses another One group accuses another group of people as immigrants. We are all essentially immigrants to each other's countries. That's the joke. But perhaps more profound, the real joke is on all of us who's been kidnapped, because it is all of us who are illegal immigrants to this make-believe reality. We have been illegally kidnapped from our real home, a place of peace and love and care and understanding, into this alternative reality of war, want, poverty, disease, and mental and physical limitation. I hope one day soon to see you all loving and caring kindred folk back in our true reality, when enough of us wake up and have the collective power to get back there safely. And I hope it's not too long in the future. This is Diana saying thank you very much for listening.